Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Smith Motor Works. Today we're going to talk about OBD. What's that mean? A lot of you already know, but some of you may not. OBD stands for Onboard Diagnostics, and it's the way for the computer in your car or truck to tell you, hey, I'm sick, help me. Whether that little light says service engine soon, check engine, fix me now, whatever it means, stop, get somebody to look at this, we have a problem. I used to work at a used car lot, and the fix that we saw a lot on cars coming in was, take some of this tape here, put that over the light, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, no, you don't really do that, but it happened a lot. In the beginning, the system was everybody was doing their own thing, a free-for-all. So you had a Ford scanner, or a GM scanner, Ford scanner, vice versa, whatever I'm looking at here. But every maker had their own little tool. It didn't tell you a whole lot, but it wasn't put together to where you could know really what was going on unless you knew that particular system. Now cars have OBD2, so one code in this car means the same thing in whatever car, and it's a whole lot better. Let me say too, these are home shop tools. This is stuff that I have here. This is not pro mechanic grade by any means. They work fine, but they don't give you all the information that something that a pro mechanic would have in their scanner that costs thousands of dollars, many thousands of dollars, but they do everything. They can tell you what's going on. Unfortunately for me, I have a car that's kind of in a transition period between 1 and 2, and I have to have this for one of them. It's kind of an OBD 1.5. Yay me. But you may be wondering, what was before OBD 1? What did they do? Allow me to present OBD 0. Okay, maybe I'm lying a little bit, or at least fabricating. There's no OBD 0. That's my invention. But what did they do before we had computers and we were able to tell what's going on with your car? Well, you might have had something like this if you had a shop. This is a Allen brand engine analyzer. Actually, they called it motor analyzer. And it's a nice little cart. It's set up with what should be 6 devices to check out the condition of your car or figure out why it isn't running, or at least not running right. As always, let's take a lap around this thing and take a look at what we're dealing with. Another barn find. I'll tell you, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, you can always find something that you want but don't necessarily need, in my case. And here we go. That's what I did. Found a guy on there, had this, trying to clean up. He was going to cut this up and turn it into a bar or something for his deck. It seems like there'd be a lot better things to do to start with than this old thing, but he got rid of it, and now I'm the caretaker. Yeah, it's pretty rough because it really did set outdoors in the barn, but it's still pretty cool. So let's check it out and kind of take a trip back in time and see how they did it, say, before 1970 or so. I'm kind of guessing on the year of this. It's got cloth-covered wiring in it, and my 60 Studebaker has cloth-covered wiring, but my 60 Corvair does not. So I'm guessing that they probably were putting that in the machines for a little while longer, because I think it was illegal to put it in houses after 1960. This is stuff off the internet there. I don't know. I'm not in the construction trade, so I don't really know when that stopped, but it's kind of spooky because the cloth-covered wiring, we'll take a look at it here, and it's in beautiful shape too. If you can can see some of it's vinyl, but there's some cloth in there too. Yeah, supposedly it has asbestos on it, so I'm taking my time and being careful with that stuff. But I don't think this would have been any newer than mid 60s, because it just, the styling of it just doesn't go with the period. But I don't really know. If you haven't heard of Allen before, they're a big name for engine test equipment. There's a matching distributor machine that looks like this I found online. And so I don't know if this was like a pair that they sold to a shop or whatever, but they kind of look the same. And this doesn't look like, you know, the boxy 70s, you know, 60s kind of futuristic stuff. This is more like, you know, atomic age kind of speed lines, and, you know, got some polished parts on it here. You know, they get this little piece of stainless here on there. So they're trying to slick it up, and just the font choice and stuff like that. It doesn't look like it made it out of the 50s. You know, stuff like this. I mean, that almost looks like 40s with the little lines going through it. But I don't really know. It's a model E310 that best I can tell. On the top here, you see this little header, I guess you'd call it. It says Lakevue Service. Now, I'm dying to know, where was Lakevue Service? I'm in central Indiana, and I think this is where this came from. I don't know. It could have been halfway across the country, but I believe that you could get your shop name engraved. You can see this is cut into the back of this with a router or something. There's an actual groove for this letter. I believe you could get your shop name cut into this if you wanted. I don't know if that was an upcharge or not, but I've seen some of these machines on sale on like Mecum and eBay and old car auction sites, stuff like that. And it says Motor Analyzer instead of the shop name. And I've seen other ones that have other shop names, but I would love to know, where was Lakevue Service? I mean, are they still around? That would be awesome. But they evidently had this, and it was probably a pretty useful tool for them, I would think. I mean, it'll kind of do it all. As you can see, I'm missing one of the devices in the middle. And we'll just go through and look at each one of them. This right here, I believe, is a charging system tester, from what I can tell. Next to that, you got vacuum and pressure gauge for, you know, looking to the carburetor, you know, engine diagnostics and carburetor condition, all that stuff. You know, same kind of stuff we have now, except, you know, it's 1/10 the size, you know, to get the same information. This one is far out to me. Air fuel ratio, I do not know how that worked. There's a probe. There's a bunch of leads that came with this too. There's a crazy looking probe that's down in one of these drawers here. We'll check it out in a minute. And it goes into this, and it's got current running through it. I don't know. It looks like it'll bite you, but you know, probably if you knew what you're doing, it wouldn't. But I don't. Not with that thing. I didn't even know they had that ability in this era. So that's pretty cool. That you know, this is, you know, old tech, but it's kind of a complicated measurement for sure. Coil tester, you know, something you can still get now. This one, I cleaned this one up a little bit because I wanted to see, you know, could you bring any of it back? So yeah, this one you can tell a little bit nicer than that one. Missing one right here. This should have been a condenser tester for you know, points type ignition system. So yeah, we're definitely going back in time with that stuff. Last one here, dwell tack, you know, also for points ignition. Of course, you know, the only thing on the road in this machine's era. But you know, anything you needed, roll this up to the car, hook it up, figure out what's going on, send the customer on their way. It's a pretty sturdy little thing, and it's kind of an oddball to me. I don't really know what was going on with it. The markers are worn off here, but it had this is like off, and it had like 6 volt, and 12 volt, you know, because the different systems on cars back then. There's absolutely no way I would plug this thing in its current condition. It's got a plug there. I mean, this would be, well, it would be exciting, I'm sure, to plug it in once, but it looks like somebody's already been goofing with it here with these solderless connections. That's not period correct for sure. But on the bottom here, and this is the tag here, it is barely legible. It took me forever to figure out. It says E310 up in the corner there. But yeah, Allen right there. Pretty cool logo, like that lightning bolt going through there. This is really odd. Look how rusty and beat up the rest of this is. But this panel is like not. So what the heck happened? I don't know if this might have been off. That's my guess. This might have been off and put somewhere else, and that kind of saved it from getting so raggedy. But yeah, there's like almost like a Zeus fastener on there that holds this little panel on, and I'm like, all right, so what's going on in here? It's hard to see. We'll get a light in here in a second. There's not anything in there. I mean, it's not meant for storage. The only thing I can figure is there must have been a battery in this thing. You know, like a car battery. That looks like a tray that one would sit on, but I just don't know. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm making these videos, is because I'm hoping somebody's gonna say, "Hey, Scotty, I know exactly what that machine is. This is how it worked, and I can find something out, and maybe try to bring it back a little bit." But let's get a light real quick. Okay, I got some light in here. You can kind of see what's inside here. It's a whole lot of nothing. I'll tell you, when I first took that panel off, when I got it home, I was ready to jump out of the way. I was afraid there's going to be some, glowing eyes and fangs coming at me. But yeah, luckily nothing had decided to make a home in there. But I mean, it's wide open. I mean, I'll go all the way up. You can see the bottom of the drawers in the front. There's literally nothing in here but garbage. And I kind of left this unclean, mostly because I wanted you guys to kind of discover it with me. I've looked in here, but sometimes you can kind of see the history of stuff in its undisturbed state. And there's still some garbage down there. Let's talk some more about what this thing does and how it works, because it's pretty neat. Now, they made Allen and their competitors like Sun and other companies, they made ones way bigger than this and ones way smaller. I mean, some of the big ones that have like an oscilloscope on them, I mean, they're like an old style entertainment center in somebody's house. I mean, they're huge. They're 7 feet tall, big old things, and they move around too. This one, I don't know if this was meant to be like a bargain one, or maybe I think it might be something that you could buy in modules, because these devices are not permanently attached in here. That's the cool thing about it. I may not be able to do this one-handed, but we'll give it a shot. They're just sitting in these cubby holes. Yeah, hang on, I'm gonna have to pull this out with 2 hands. Hey, there we go. Yeah, they're all portable. Every one of those pulls out. Now, I put these in the order that I found on a nice one online, the picture one online. I've seen other ones where they're in different locations. I don't know if there's like a standard position or it didn't really matter. I don't know if you can see in the back, there's holes through here because these kind of hooked up to main power from this cabinet, because it plugs in. It has its own power source, which I'm guessing might have been what I think might have been a battery in that compartment that we just looked at. But these are all portable, and I think that's so cool because, you pick it up and carry it, you're going to drop it, right? No, this is pretty slick. Watch this. Little button here. mean, that's like a switchblade or something. It pops out. You got a handle. It's like a little lunchbox or something. It's pretty cool. And it's got, you know, you lay it flat. It's got little rubber feet to where you could lay it, you know, put this down so the meter's pointing up. It's also got some little kind of like kickstand kind of things here, so you can put it in an angle too. And then this handle just kind of nestles back down in there and snaps. And they all work, which I was surprised, you know, because I'm still saying this is 50s, 60s at the newest. So, you know, it's 50 plus years old. Pretty cool that it still works, I think. You see there's a little terminal in the back. That's where this like main harness plugged in. So I think maybe this required some power. I know some of them had batteries in them. One of these I'll have to pull out separately and show it. Somebody left the batteries in it. And if you've seen batteries that have been left, you know what happens. And it's really corroded on the bottom. We'll take a look at that. It's like the worst one. But, you know, the markings and stuff have worn off on some of this. But, you know, none of the glass is broken. You know, all or none of these might work. Probably none. But I'm going to give it a shot with start with some of the better ones and see, you know, can I get it to work? But like this thing here, I don't even know how it's supposed to work. So I'm hoping I can find somebody in the YouTube hot rod or car restoration community that can steer me in the right track, because I'd use this. I think it'd be fun. I mean, I got some cars from that era that somebody would have actually used a piece of equipment like this to tune them up. So, hey, why not? And if I never do get anything done with it, well, you know, I got a rolling cart with a couple drawers in it, which is just full of all the garbage that came with it. Well, I mean, it's not garbage, but there's like kind of like vacuum adapter here. It's got, you know, ports on each end, and then, you know, like a barb fitting here, and then like a Schrader valve with a cap. So, man, I don't know. Did it come with this machine or not? I'm not sure. Somebody made a little homebrew kind of inspection lamp here. This is not factory. I don't know what they were doing here, but looks like they kind of went to some trouble to do that. But pretty odd. But, you know, that's what happens in a shop. You know, you can't get the right tool, you make one. But yeah, it's pretty solid. It's got some dents. It's beat up here and there, but I mean, I didn't pay, I don't know, $30 for it maybe. So yeah, I figured if, you know, it gets in the way, hey, I lost $30. You know, I'll take the casters off of it and, you know, get rid of it. But I'm not doing that. But I tell myself that. So we like our old rusty stuff, and we might be able to do something with this again. I hope so. Let's take a look at that really bad one to scare you. Ugh, yeah, well, here's the bad one, as I told you. But it's the only one that's like that. You can see the old Ever-Ready batteries in there. I don't know if you can see what it says on the bottom there. It says leak proof. I guess that's relative, or there's a expiration date. I don't know, because yeah, that's battery acid that rotted this thing out. But hey, it's only sheet metal, so I could do something with that if I wanted to. But it's the electronics in there that's not my forte, and it's just roached out. So yeah, you know, another option would be to put a more modern tool in this box. I don't know. I wouldn't want to lose this cool face here, but I mean, maybe there's a way to cut one up and put it in there and make it work. You know, kind of resto mod it or something. I don't know. I mean, this thing isn't, you know, ever going to be worth a whole lot of money, and I don't care. That's not why I do this stuff. I do it for my own enjoyment. But it's kind of kind of unique, I thought. Maybe haven't seen one of these before. There's a whole community that collects old shop equipment, old diagnostic equipment, all kinds of this stuff. But, you know, they've got really, really nice stuff. And this is not. And that's okay. But it's still pretty fun. So there you go. I'm going to call this 1958. How about that? 1958 Allen E310 motor analyzer. Well, that's it. I hope you guys liked that one. Remember, do your homework, like, subscribe, share, comment. Definitely comment, please. If you've heard of Lakevue Service, if you know about these old motor analyzers, I'd love to hear about it because I just can't find it out. Need your help. We'll see you next time on Smith Motor Works. Later.